Oh, hi, you guys. I've been sitting here thinking, reflecting on this wonderful weekend. And Friday, we had our big house party at the venue. It was wonderful. It was a wonderful time. We had so many friends and family members there. That was one of the highlights. We had family, and I saw so many family members that we haven't seen in forever. It was such a beautiful surprise. Darren, I want to thank you all so much. It was a wonderful event. Thank you for coming out. Thank you all for participating. We had so many games and talks and laughs, and Jazz really made it such a wonderful event with activities and the audience interacting, and you guys just made my day. It was so fun to be able to celebrate September our birthdays. Darian and I appreciate you all so much. We thank you for the gifts, the cash apps you sent. Thank you for showing up, even if you were tired after work, running your own businesses. We understand, and we really appreciate your time. We appreciate you driving far or near to come to celebrate us and celebrate with us. So I just wanted to get on here today and tell you about momentum and awareness, because I believe that I've found my momentum in talking to you all about what we go through, what we've been going through, and how we have achieved some of the things that we've wanted to accomplish in life. Jazz said a lot at the party when she was informing us that she had been watching it. She had remembered what I said back in the day, a long time ago, when our kids were in first grade, about me starting a business. And it brought me back to the remembrance of how that all started and what the lack of awareness can have as an effect on you. Um, I was always wondering about access versus the awareness that you have access. And people are always used to say, like, advocates and politicians or people who are activists for others and those who are disenfranchised. They're always saying we need to give access and provide access to those who are marginalized people, those who don't have it like we might have it. And I started to think that it's not so much the access, but it's more the awareness of the access that we already have. Like I said the other day, I found the answers to questions that I had had all along, but the answers were always there. I just didn't know where to find them. And that being said, you start something, or you don't start something because of the fear or the capacity of of trepidation that you have from just thinking about starting it, because you don't know where to go. And I was realizing that to gain momentum, you have to start something, and it has to take a while. And then there's a process, almost like a cruise ship pulling out of the port. If you've ever been on a cruise, it pulls out very, very slowly. It's like a semi truck that can't stop very fast. It can't stop on a dime when people run out in front of it, because it can't. Once it starts moving, it has to be stopped by an outside force immediately. And that's the same with inertia. Inertia is that current motion that is not made because you have to start it. It has to be started by an outside force. But once it gets going, it's going. So to gain that momentum, you have to have started something. You have to get it going. And I feel that, like, we have to overcome that fear of getting started. We have to overcome the inertia of being poor, or the inertia of um, of not being able to move forward because of what we're afraid of that we don't know. And sometimes that fear is really the only thing that is the thing stopping us. It's not the thing that we don't know could happen or couldn't happen. It's the fear that we don't know what could happen or could happen. Fear is the thing that's keeping us from our life change. I want you to ask yourself a question. Ask yourself this. What if all the lack in my life was a result of the lack of awareness? What if all the lack in your life was a result of the lack of awareness? And if you were just aware, your life would be changed forever. If you were aware of all the right things at all the right times, your life would change forever. I'm going to tell you what I mean. The lack of abundance of things that are accessible to you is a big thing. We just lack the awareness of the access we have. We lack the awareness of the access we have. So many people do this all the time. I'm going to share something with you. I used to work for Success by Six. And Success by Six, if you asked me, what is Success by Six? Success by Six was an initiative started by Carol Jenkins Barnett in about 1995, I think, where United Way spearheaded it. But their main goal was to create a community where all children by the age of 6 were mentally and physically and healthy and productive and ready for kindergarten, and for to be successful for their formative years in education. Success by Six brought together and brings together the resources for children to become better off. They bring the resources to the children, right? But I learned while I was working at Success by Six, when it was at the former location, the old Lakeland Senior High School, and turned into Family Fundamentals, Lakeland Volunteers in Medicine, which is now Academy Prep on the corner of Memorial and Lakeland Hills. That as much as I knew about Success by Six, there were still tons more people who didn't know Success by Six existed, even though they might have been in programs that utilize Success by Six. Their children may have been participating in activities through their schools or home groups. And I was a teacher, a model classroom teacher for a child care resource and directors. So I was aware of Success by Six. My children had the benefit of benefiting from Success by Six, United Way, and Carol Jenkins Barnett's program that she was so passionate about, making sure that these young children have a firm foundation in education and resources to grow and learn and be effective and affect change in their little lives at an early age. So, case in point, that is access. That is access to so much. But here we are. Some people were not even aware that the program existed. So that's what I mean by, if we had awareness about all of the access we had, we would be 10 times better off. We would be able to 10x our lives abundantly. We would be wealthy. We would all be living the dream. We would all be not having to let money determine what we can get and where we can go and when we can do it and when we say no and when we say yes. We say yes whenever we'd want. We'd say no whenever we want, just because of the simple fact that we'd be aware of what we have access to. And that's a powerful thing. One of the most powerful experiences, one of the greatest experiences you can have in your life is the awareness that you gain from finding something out that could change your life. That's what Derry and I have been living. That's what I'm living right now. I'm finding things out that have changed my life. They're changing my life for the best. And we are teaching our children. There are things out there that you can achieve, you can have. You can just say the word and you have them. When I first started business back in 2016, that was after I stopped working with the police department, and I had been an emergency management professional in my years before, making decent money and in high level positions in my work, and become the subject matter expert in many things that grew my position in different corporations. And I became someone that people looked to for information, and that people looked up to because they realized I knew things that they may not have known. But I also recognized that there were so many people that I should surround myself, because there were things I didn't know. But I could protect the momentum that I was gaining by continually staying relevant and staying up on information and bettering my education in things that I didn't know. So after I left the police department, I went to grad school, and I got 2 degrees, one in human resources and the other in management leadership. And once I graduated in 2017, December, I was looking for C-suite jobs. And if any of you don't know what C-suite is, it's a term for high level, executive level management in the company. So it outlines the high responsibility of you running a company for a corporation. So I was looking for those jobs because I knew I was qualified. I knew my education spoke for itself, but I also knew my experience spoke more. And my experience in so many things caused me to be a great candidate, or so I thought, for a C-suite level position. See, like a lot of people think, I thought the power of that position would be the power to the wealth that I was looking for in my life. It would be the power to my next level in life. It would allow me to access things that I couldn't access before because it would pay me more. But that's a false positive. And what I mean by that is, it's just an idea. A C-suite position represented an idea or a status and what people attached a belief to. It didn't mean anything. It was nothing. Because in the end, the power was on the other side of that application, that someone had to determine whether or not they wanted to give to me or not, if that makes sense. I'm filling out an application, but I had to apply for some power that was technically already mine to have. So I had access all along to the power that I was looking for, to be in control of my own destiny, my own wealth. And it was there all along. I just wasn't aware that I had that access to the power that I was looking for. The awareness of abundance was there. What I wanted was there all. So my husband got me on this kick that started my momentum. He said, why don't you stop applying for jobs and start something, try to monetize something that you're already good at or you already like to do. And so I was thinking, because I was becoming a professional job seeker, if you think about it. And that wasn't getting me anywhere. I was, paying money for and getting on these jobs boards that weren't giving me anything. I was just day in and day out. And a lot of you have experienced the same thing. You become good at applying for jobs because that's what you're practicing, instead of practicing your craft or practicing something that you could actually make money doing. When we started our business in 2016, Facebook wasn't that serious. It was like 6 years old, and Instagram wasn't that serious. And the biggest influencers I knew were like Mr. Beast and Unspeakable, the Lego Maniac, Minecraft guy, because my kids liked that. I found myself scrolling. I found myself looking at other people's lives and scrolling. And you all know, Facebook started to take our attention from ourselves and make it easier to be non-starters, if that makes sense. It Facebook made it easier for us to be non-starters because we were watching other starters, other people who had momentum every day, and they were exercising it. So I didn't start on the internet. I started our business from completely from the ground up, scratch. We didn't have money. We needed money. We needed equipment. We decided, okay, we'll do food. I didn't want to start a restaurant because restaurant is ridiculously expensive to do. If you don't have the startup capital, it's really not a great business model to start out if you don't know how to start a business. So I said, well, I know how to cook. I know how to entertain people. We love feeding people. So, well, let's do catering. I knew I could do catering on my own time. I could take a job, get paid for the job, cook for the job, and then get paid. So that was a really easy business model, or so I thought, because catering could be done on my time. And I believed that that was the best way to start. We wanted to start a business, but we weren't sure where to start. So we started there as a catering company. Well, we didn't have any money. We had no startup funding capital. There was nothing. But remember, I wasn't working. I was in school, right? So we were on government assistance. And some people would be like, why are you going to tell us this? Like, are you really about to tell us that you were on government assistance? Yes, I'm about to tell you that we were on government assistance because I want you to see the fact that your lack of awareness keeps you bound to a state or a status of lack that society would love for you to stay in, because that leaves more money for them. There's more wealth left on the table for those who are aware of their awareness of what they have access to, because those who are not aware don't know they don't have access to it. They don't know, and they don't know they have access to it, and they don't know where to find it. So therefore, they never acquire it. And that's what I'm here to talk to you about, because people need to know this. People need to know that your wealth is right around the corner. Your change, your life change is here. It's already here. It's staring you right in the face. So we started this business and we had no money. So tax time comes around, tax return season comes around, and most people get excited if they're in that pay bracket of what they call below the poverty line. If you're on government assistance, if you receive food stamps, then if you are on Medicaid or Medicare, you are eligible for certain government programs. And that's one of them, where you receive a tax refund. And a lot of those tax refunds are very huge. They can be upwards to $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. And then with the child tax credits and income credit, low income credits you can get. And I was in school, so I had a college credit, a school credit. So I quickly learned that first, number one, there's no incentive to work in the U.S. There was no incentive to run your own business in the U.S., if that makes sense. And then two, there's really no incentive to work either, because there are programs that will make you feel just comfortable enough that you don't have to worry about being a self-starter, because you're doing enough to exist, if that makes sense. You're doing enough to exist to get just enough money that you can pay your bills, maybe buy some nice food for the month, get a TV, get some new furniture, buy a new car, live comfortably, pay your rent for 2 months. Things that are not lasting, things that will not pay you money. So we decided that instead of using the tax refund for that, I said, you know what, since I don't have any money of my own, I'm gonna let Uncle Sam pay for it. And what better way to have Uncle Sam help you get your business started than to use the tax refund that he gave you for being poor on paper, right? So we were poor on paper, so we were eligible for a huge tax refund, $10,000. That's a nice chunk of change. That's a nice chunk of change that can buy all of the equipment that we needed for any catering job. It bought us our business license, our Florida State DBPR license. It bought us our kitchen space rent. It allowed us to start our business with Division of Corporations. It allowed us to buy a vehicle to carry our equipment in. We were able to start our catering business on Uncle Sam's $10,000. That's how we made it. We didn't have any other money. We didn't have any other money. Do I need to say that again? We didn't have any other money. So this is one way we used the government to help us, to boost our lives, to change our lives. That was our first change. One of the best experiences in our life. We realized we can change our lives with this free money from Uncle Sam. And think about it, it's really not free money. But that's for another conversation. So that's just another way that you can get started with your business. I went into greater detail with my second semester class, first and second semester class, teaching entrepreneurship at Florida Southern's Barnett School of Business and Free Enterprise. And the students were like amazed because, for one, I wasn't afraid to talk to people about the fact that I was on government assistance. I think the fact that it has a sort of a taboo feeling because it comes with judgment and it comes with unknowns, it comes with misinformation, and it comes with a lack of information. So people think, oh, they're on government assistance. I was happy because my children had free health care. I was on share of costs, but we were able to take care of our children, make sure they always had health care. We were able to run a business. And starting out a business, which you'll learn from me later on, is you can count all of those losses against your 1041 taxes, which you file every year to get your tax refund, because you're poor as a person. As a person, you're poor on paper, but as a business, you are making money, but you're claiming it as loss because all of the money that you're spending is going right back into the business. So these are just different ways that you can start a business with no money. And I can talk to you more about that, but I'm just excited because I wanted to tell you guys about this. Your momentum has to come from somewhere. And to gain that momentum, you have to start. You have to overcome the inertia that's already moving in your life to keep you in the state of consistent and persistent lack. To get out of that state of lack, you have to start the boat moving. You have to start the semi-truck moving. You have to start the train moving. You have to start it. And once it's going, it's full speed ahead. You can't stop it. You can't stop it. And it's easier to keep it moving, keep it going. I hope you guys kind of understood. I know it was a little long, but I just really think that telling you that can help you because it helped us. Have a good evening.